Hey everybody, this is Ostuni, and I kind of started this off kind of weirdly, but today was a very interesting day for the Warframe community, and I wanted to talk about it in my first little attempt of a discussion video. And the topic today, as you can see probably by the title, is Tennocon. And Tennocon, for those of you who don't really haven't really been keeping up with it, and why haven't you if you've been a fan of Warframe, is basically a annual convention for Warframe fans. And it basically is a gigantic reveal, kind of like, think of like, if you guys have ever watched a dev stream before, dev stream times like 5 or something like that. But I'm here to talk about a lot of stuff that has happened through the dev stream. And actually, I'm going to start off by telling you the news that I am most excited about. Well, actually, not that I'm most excited about, but I'm personally just giddy over. And it has to do something with the Warframe that I'm using right now, Hydroid. And that's because Hydroid is the next prime on the block, and I am so excited about it. Let's see, if I remember to, I'll show you guys a little picture of his design up in the corner, probably over here. Cameras are first. But I really like the design. I can't wait to see what extra stats he has. And a lot of people have been saying that Hydroid does need a rework. I personally wouldn't care one way or the other if he has a rework. I like him just fine like he is. Like, I could spam a 1 and 4 all day and still be happy. But, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if he had a rework. I think, like, if you became like a swirling mass of tentacles and started moving around, that would be pretty cool. But either way, I'm really happy. Hydroid was the very first Warframe I took a interest in. And, ooh, I am losing my ass up. But then again, that's not the point of this video. The point of the video is to discuss with you guys. And I'm only doing this by myself. I don't know why whoever fucking wanted to come in with me decided not to. But yeah. Another thing that has been confirmed is we are getting a big, expansive, open territory to actually explore in a Earth-like setting, and I think that that is pretty cool. It's Plains of something or other. I can't really remember it. I don't have the name of it in front of me. Really professional, I know, but you guys know what I'm talking about, though, more than likely. I think that this is an interesting concept, and I hope it does really well, because there's a particular phrasing that they used when describing what they were trying to really do with a lot of the stuff. And that is that they wanted to try to make it to where we aren't going in and out of the ship near as often. And I think that that's a really good thing, because that is kind of cumbersome over time. And I mean, like, I'm losing my ass off of this. And I think that would be awesome. I think if they, over time, did this with the rest of the areas as well, like the rest of the planets, like an area for Mars and stuff like that, and have that kind of be the way that you go back and forth, maybe between like missions and stuff like that, or something along those lines, I think that would be really cool. The next thing that I'll really want to talk about is, well, actually, no, I'll talk a little bit more about that. Something else I thought was pretty cool was it looks like they've put in, it's fine, it's whatever. I'm just gonna. It's fine. 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 Just let me. Okay, let me get out of here. So another thing that seems to be something that they're really working on is the little details in the world. Like, you can shoot birds off in the distance. You can fish. I wasn't expecting that. A lot of people were really excited about that. It's little things that are going to make it really awesome. And another thing that's going to be interesting is the inclusion of Arcwing into this big, massive open area, which I think will be pretty well received because it'll give players reason to actually use the Arcwing, and it'll be beneficial for them to use. I think that'll be cool. Okay, but now I can move off of that. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is the fact that we are going to be seeing custom, at first, melee weapons. They showed this off. Basically what it is you could choose a blade and a handle, and both of those combined would change which type of weapon it could be. It could be a polearm, it could be a sword, it could be a machete even. Kind of interesting that you can choose one of those. A stave I saw, so that'll be awesome for me. I personally like staves. And a little ornament that's attached to the bottom that can affect various things, like, who knows, maybe it'll add a status chance or a critical chance or something like that. But I think this is pretty cool. With the amount of customization that we get already through mods, I think that this was the next logical step. My only question is this going to happen for guns in the future? I can only assume that it would happen for guns. And I would say that we're not heading towards like custom weapons becoming the norm. I think that they're going to be very good, and I think that the development team is going to make them good enough to where we're going to want to try them. So that'll be an interesting process. I'm not sure how we're going to obtain the handles or anything like that. Sorry about the frame rate dropping, but once again, more of a discussion video. I think overall that it'll be good. How it's executed, though, could either make this a great new feature or just an afterthought. Because, I mean, like, we just have so many weapons that will not follow this formula, and so many weapons that they'll probably think of that can't follow this formula. Oh no! My puppy died. Ah, shit. The next thing that I wanted to talk about, and this one kind of confused me, to be honest, is the glass-themed Warframe that's going to be coming out. And the reason I am kind of weird about that right now is because I can't personally think of what the powers would be for a glass-themed Warframe. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Like, maybe some kind of Diamond Storm-ish kind of thing. I know Digimon being a reference in a Warframe video, that's kind of a first, but I don't know, like, I expect there to be a lot of emphasis on blade-style damage, pretty much. Like, that's kind of how I think it'll wind up going. But yeah, I think it'll, I think it will be an interesting thing to watch, as it happens. But I really want to see its powers and know exactly what kind of, like, thing they're going for. Like I said, I have a feeling that it's going to be... Actually, it could either be puncture or slash damage that could be the main appeal of the Warframe. I'm not quite sure. Overall, though, the design looks pretty solid. It has a little glass accenting and everything, so it's good on that. The next thing that I want to talk about, and actually this will be kind of where I close off discussion, is that DE has finally given us something concrete-ish about Umbra. Umbra has a trailer now, and Umbra apparently is revolving around the theme of sacrifice. So I'm wondering if this is going to be the signaling of starter content that has to do, or well, quest content that has to do with them, or if it's or you know, if it's gonna be theming around his powers, because I have to imagine that for Umbra to be kept in the dark this long and like to be this I don't know, this like under wraps, I think he's gonna have something really unique to him. I don't think he's gonna be just a skin. I don't think he's gonna be Excalibur Prime but with a new coat of paint on him. I think there's something more to him. I'm not quite sure what it could be, but remember, the theming is sacrifice. Maybe his powers are souped up, but maybe you have like some kind of like requirement that you have to do. Maybe it drains your health or drains your shields or something like that. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see how that goes on. And I'm kind of wondering which of this new content is coming out first, because I know that they've said that the Isles, or well, the Plains content, the open world content, is scheduled, keyword scheduled, to come out a little bit later this year. To my knowledge, there was no date given for the Umbra Prime trailer, so that is kind of up in the air. I imagine we probably got another month, maybe, of Oberon Prime before we see him, or before we see Hydroid Prime take the scene, and that's going to be a Warframe that I actually pony up and get like full-on probably Prime access, or at least tier 2. I'm not sure what the accessories will be, but Nami Scala is supposed to be with Hydroid, which makes sense because Nami Scala was introduced, and if I'm naming that wrong, sorry, but it was introduced at the same time the Hydroid was, so it makes sense that it would return. I'm wondering what's going to be different about it too, because it may be one of those deals with like the Dex Docker where both swords may be the same length. I'm not sure. Let's see, and I can't really remember what that second thing was, that the second weapon that's actually going to be with him. I remember that it wasn't really overwhelming for me, so I guess that's why I don't really remember it. But like I said, I think we got another month of Oberon Prime before we see Hydroid Prime, and I am getting him because he looks fucking amazing. Let's see, that glass themed Warframe, I imagine we are going to get that Warframe in between Hydroid Prime and the Plains open world content. That's my guess, but actually I'll ask you guys about that. Question of the day, in what order do you think we're actually gonna receive this content? Like I said, I think that probably first we'll probably see Hydroid. If not Hydroid Prime, then I think the Glass Warframe. I'm really shook up between those two as to like what's coming first, because we just got Harrow. Like, we just got him, so like it's still kind of in the middle. They may just want to drown us with shit. They will be all like, oh my god, take all of this, take all of our offerings. And another follow-up question to that is, which piece are you looking the most forward to? I know most people say the Plains, but then again, I know that there are some people that have been looking for Umbra for a while, or looking forward to anything that has to do with Umbra for a while. And maybe there's some people that are like me that have been waiting for Hydroid Prime to be a thing for a while. Actually, another thing I would like to mention as far as that order of thing is I think Excalibur Umbra will wind up being the last of all of this content. I'm not saying that we're going to have to wait until like 2018 or anything. Don't fucking do anything like that. But, yeah. That's what I think. But thank you guys so much for watching, and leave your comments down below. This is Ostuni signing off. Yeah!